Dylan Frye was looked at as the best white basketball player in all of high school. But what happened to this guy? And today, I'm just here to explain to y'all his story. So what's good, y'all? It's Matt LBG. The LBG stands for Let's Be Great. And we are back with another story video. If y'all new to my channel, hit that subscribe button, leave a like for more, and without further ado, let's get into the video, man. Dylan Frye was making waves all over high school basketball. He was even having his hoop mixtapes reacted to by some of the most famous reactors on YouTube. And by reactors, I mean like Oprah Side and people like that. So he was blowing up all over social media and YouTube in general. And him blowing up was for very good reason, because this guy can straight up hoop. In high school, he was listed as a 6'1" point guard weighing 170 pounds and was in the class of 2016. Being from Miami, Florida, he attended Matter Academy, and that's where he played his high school ball. Even though he had these great hoop mixtapes and he was getting a lot, and I mean a lot of recognition, he was only regarded as a 3-star recruit. And by being a 3-star recruit, he got a lot of interest. And not only interest, he got a lot of offers as well. He didn't get no crazy big time offers, but he did get a lot of Division I offers from a lot of good schools. But ultimately, he took a visit to Bowling Green and he fell in love, and that is the only place he even took a visit to. So I guess you could say he saw all he needed to saw, and he fell in love with the school and the coaching staff, and that's where he signed to play his college ball at. Bowling Green was actually one of these smaller schools that had interest in him, so I guess he went there so he could play right away. And that's almost exactly what happened. Out of 32 games played his freshman season, he actually started 15 of those. And quite frankly, his freshman season couldn't have went any better. He averaged around 24 minutes per game and shot over 40% from deep and over 44% from the field. His free throw percentage was pretty high as well. He shot over 70%, and he also averaged over 1 assist per game. With that being said, he did wind up averaging 9 points per game as just a freshman. And only playing about 20 minutes per game, that's pretty solid. Heading into his sophomore season, he had big expectations though. Out of 31 games played, he started all 31. His minutes per game also increased, so with that being said, he was taking more shots, so his field goal percentage and 3-point percentage went down as well. He kept his field goal percentage around 40%, but his 3-point percentage did drop to around 35%, which is honestly still great for college. A real noticeable improvement in his game that even his coaches talked about is his assists went from 1 a game to nearly 2.5. So just like most sophomores, he got smarter with the ball and his IQ improved. And as you know, playing more minutes per game gives you a chance to score more per game, so he averaged almost 12 points per game as a sophomore. 12 points per game as a sophomore is still pretty good just to be 6'1" and being the point guard of a team, because your role is really to pass and get others involved. But heading into his junior season, he had even bigger expectations. He started 33 games and even brought his field goal percentage and 3-point percentage up from last year. And ironically, his assists per game didn't move. It stayed at 2.4 per game. However though, his points per game went up a whole nother point per game as he averaged nearly 13 points per game, which is pretty good, but I think a lot of people and most people were expecting more out of this guy. You know, your freshman and sophomore year in college, it's kind of, a couple years for you to figure out the system, ease your way onto the next level. And with being a player who had a lot of hype around their name in high school, sometimes people expect way more out of you. So I think it's fair to say if he would have averaged, 16, 17 points per game as a junior, he would have actually met those expectations, but sadly he didn't. Regardless, he still had a great year. And there was even some talk that this kid might go overseas and play. He wasn't playing good enough to get drafted, but there was some talk that he might leave Bowling Green. However though, he talked with his family and that did not happen. He decided to come back for his senior season, which I think is very smart. In his senior season, currently he's only played 7 games. But in those 7 games, he's playing pretty good basketball. He's shooting the ball really well, but that's not something we're concerned about. We all know that this kid can shoot the basketball. So we're not really worried about that part of his game. But one thing that has improved even more is that his assists went from 2.4 to 3.4 just in these 7 games. And also his points per game have increased as well. His points per game are currently sitting at 13.3, which is very solid. They recently just played Cincinnati in a game that went to overtime, and Dylan Frye dropped 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. So yes, this guy's definitely improving, and I think it was really smart to come back for a senior season. That way after this year, he can definitely go overseas or even test the NBA waters if he keeps improving. If he has a year where he continuously puts up over 25 points or 30 points per game, he can definitely get to the NBA this year. But as of right now, I think the smartest route for this guy would be to test the overseas waters and go overseas and play. But hey man, that's just something time will tell and we will have to see. I'm definitely going to keep up with this man and continue to follow his senior season. I'm wishing Dylan Frye and his family the best because I like to see the underdog story and I like to see people succeed. But hey man, with all this being said, that's about going to wrap up this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something. If you're new to my channel, what are you doing? Hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And with all this being said, 1, 4, 3, let's be great. I'm out, y'all. Peace.